police had gone to do the welfare check on the children and Laurie had said, no, they've gone to live with friends, the police went to the friends' place to do, again, the welfare check, only to find out that Laurie had lied. The children had never stayed with this friend. And this so-called friend that lived in Arizona turned round to the police and was like, I've never been a guardian for the children. That was a lie. Essentially, Laurie was giving the police the runaround, kind of not being forthcoming with where the children are and if they're well and if anything has happened to them. So, Chad Daybell had a wife called Tammy. Remember, Chad is the author and he's the one that said that Laurie is a prophetess and a goddess that's going to lead the 144,000 through the end of the world in 2020. Right. Chad had a wife called Tammy. Tammy was a devout, loving wife of Chad. She mysteriously died on the 19th of October in 2019 in her sleep. Within the month of her death, Chad and Laurie get married. After finding out this little nugget, the Chandler Police, the Gilbert Police Department, Fremont County Sheriff's Department, and the FBI all start paying more attention to Chad and Laurie and start coordinating their efforts to try and find out where and what has happened to Tylee and JJ. Whilst carrying out these because there's a few investigations going on at the same time. Charles's death's investigation, at some point the investigation into how Tammy died and the disappearance of the two children. They were also investigating the other husband, Ryan Anthony's death around this same time. At the time of doing these investigations, they come to find out that Laurie, Chad, and Alex had been conspiring to get rid of Charles. One, because he was going to confront Laurie about her religious radicalization, and two, because Laurie and Chad needed to marry so that their prophecy could be fulfilled. This is what the police had found out. This is what the investigations had uncovered. They both needed Charles out of the picture because he was talking too much about religious radicalization, and Chad and Laurie needed to get married. It also came out in the investigation that they believed Tylee and JJ had been possessed. But they weren't referred to as demons, they were referred to as zombies. In January 2019, Laurie tells her friend that she's had visions that she can create storms and fire and will have the eye of the Lord. And then in February 2019, Laurie tells her friend that Charles is blocking her gifts, and I just made the assumption that this was her saying that he was blocking her ability with these phantom powers that she said she had. Following these conversations about harming Charles, who had also been referred to as Ned and Hiplos, that was a name that just was randomly thrown in there. Now, side point, before Charles's death, she had done some research for disability insurance. And the search was important because it showed that there was a monetary gain or a monetary reason for Charles needing to be out of the picture.